success of the real-time strategy genre has been a cornerstone of PC gaming for decades. Its versatility is part of the secret to its success. The genre has seen World War II shooters, mythical battles, and historical events. Another popular type of RTS game is futuristic science fiction, a category that has been dominated by Blizzard Entertainment's StarCraft series. For those who love Blizzard's signature RTS game but want a change of scenery, there are plenty of high-quality choices to choose from. First up, Starfront Collision. The gaming industry often looks down on mobile games. It's frequently criticized for its plethora of cash-grab games that are geared toward getting consumers to spend money. Although plenty of these games like StarCraft do exist, mobile gaming does have a few gems. One of these is Starfront Collision. It's not just similar to StarCraft in name, as Starfront is also a sci-fi RTS game that lets players pick from 3 races to control. These 3 races play almost identically to StarCraft's Terrans, Zerg, and Protoss varieties, so it's the ideal choice if a player is a dedicated StarCraft fan. Up next, Dune: Spice Wars. There are several video games inspired by the Dune novels, and given the nature of the story, with different noble houses vying for territory and even whole planets, they would naturally be RTS games. Dune: Spice Wars is one of the most recent additions to the franchise, and it's a classic-style 4X RTS game with modern graphics. The setting is the desert planet of Arrakis, and the goals are to control as much territory as possible and extract the maximum amount of precious spice. This is done through a mix of diplomacy, intelligence gathering, and brute force. There are 5 different factions that a player can control: the Fremen, the Smugglers, and one of 3 noble houses: Harkonnen, Atreides, and Corino. Next, Warhammer 40,000: Dawn of War II. The now bankrupted THQ finds itself on this list with an RTS title set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Warhammer 40k's setting is in the distant future of the 42nd millennium. Warhammer 40k combines science and fantasy fiction, creating a unique gameplay setting. Dawn of War II removed the building bases that were featured in the original game and put extra focus on the cover mechanic. The cover mechanic is well executed and differentiates it from other games like StarCraft. Next on our list, Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. A game that combines the thrill of real-time strategy with the lore of the Star Wars franchise, Galactic Battlegrounds was limited to the PC and Apple operating systems when it was first released and never got the attention it deserved. It uses the same graphics engine as Age of Empires and Age of Empires 2, and shares some of the same gameplay features. Players collect certain resources to build bases, military units, and weapons, and they can either defend their base or attack others. You can choose to play as either Jedi or Sith and build ships, temples, droids, and other familiar things from the Star Wars universe. Coming up next, Hearts of Iron 4. A grand strategy wargame that uses the theater of World War II as its setting, Hearts of Iron 4 is part of a franchise that takes place at various times and locations between 1936 and 1945. This installment begins sometime between 1936 and 1939. Almost every type of machinery or weapon you'd expect from that era is available, and that includes warships, tanks, artillery, and other things like terrain and morale. There's also a variety of diplomatic venues available if you've chosen to lead a smaller country that's trying to avoid getting crushed by the bigger powers. There's also a variety of diplomatic venues available if you've chosen to lead a smaller country that's trying to avoid getting crushed by the bigger powers. And finally, Total War Warhammer 2. Total War Warhammer 2 is the sort of game that fans of the franchise fantasize about but never expect to see come to life. Total War Warhammer was released in 2016, and a positive reception meant that work quickly began on a sequel. Warhammer 2's fantasy themes are far more than just a gimmick. They offer a unique layer of depth and strategy to a game like StarCraft by giving players a vast range of unique units to contend with and control. The third entry is also fantastic and a great conclusion to this trilogy. From mega franchises to all-time classics, those were our picks for the best RTS games like StarCraft. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching GameRant. We'll see you next time.